Shotz Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Hot Shots Podcast. My name is Justin Kuntz. I'm your host along with Pierson and Baxx. Let's just get right into it. Breaking news today, the Jets abruptly fired their head coach. What are your thoughts on that? Possible candidates they might rehire? What are you guys thinking?
I mean, honestly, I think it's a good move for the Jets. I mean, how are you not winning with Aaron Rodgers? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is just, punking you, dude. He's, pushing you and everything. You're just going to take that as a coach. You're supposed to be, the one that keeps all your players in line and, leads them to victory. And he's just not doing that, so.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the whole firing of the head coach. They've never done that before. I mean, they've had bad head coaches before, and they always wait till the end of the season. I do think it's good that I saw they moved their offensive coordinator, which I think that's where the thing is going to really change, because how are you not going to use Breece Hall in a drive? He's a star.
Yeah, he should be on the field at all times. He should never come off.
I do think it's going to be better overall for the Jets, but it does suck to see that just right in the middle of the season.
Yeah. I mean, bad for him, maybe good for the Jets.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers went out there and said if he just played better, none of it would have happened, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of it goes on the players, too.
There was some rumors that Belichick might be up for the position. What do you guys think of that?
That'd be crazy.
I think he's enjoying his life too much right now to go coach a football team. Yeah, that 23-year-old girlfriend. I think he's going to have a good time with that and just keep watching it from the outside. But it would be great if he went there and then Adams goes there and the Jets is a Super Bowl team.
He might want to see her in a Jets outfit, though, so. He might go to the Jets, I mean, he sees Brady and Aaron Rodgers maybe, and he wants to go on another run.
He could. I could see it, but I do think they're just going to stick with what they have. They might go get someone else, but I don't think Belichick is going to come back.
Next up, we got injury reports. Nico Collins is placed on injury reserve for his hamstring, out for 4 weeks. It's a big blow to the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, Nico Collins has been doing great. I didn't believe in him much, but he's a star. He catches everything that gets thrown at him. I do think they have plenty of wide receiver talent that it won't affect him too much, but it definitely will, of course. I mean, when you lose your number one wide receiver, it's going to hurt your team. But I mean, Stephon Diggs looks great. Tank Dell's back. He's a star. I think they'll be fine. And Joe Mixon's back, too.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. But, yeah, losing him that's a terrible loss. I was telling you before the season, I was like, he's insane. He's a dog. And, I mean, he's been going insane these last couple of games, but they have plenty of other guys. And Diggs is going to step up to receiver one, I think. So we're excited to see that.
Yeah, with Collins being receiver one, him having that connection with Stroud, I mean, obviously these other guys are weapons, but do you guys think that connection will still be there? Will they find that?
Oh, yeah. I think Tank Dell could easily rise in the rankings. He's going to be a very good wide receiver, too. He was great last year. Now that Nico Collins is out, there's going to be more reliant on him, and I think he can handle that.
Yeah. CJ Stroud, he's just a great quarterback, so I think it doesn't really matter who's on the field with him as long as they trust in him and he trusts in them.
And it's not like Diggs it's his first time being wide receiver one. I mean,
he's used to it.
Vikings.
Yeah,
he's doing great. I think they'll still be good.
Yeah, and moving on with the Eagles, they have some big players out. Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, questionable. You guys think we'll see him play?
I think they'll both play.
Yeah.
I think they'll both play. I think they'll do great. I don't know if I'd play Devonta Smith as much as I'd like A.J. Brown, considering he is the wide receiver too, but I do think that they'll play this weekend. A.J. Brown will score some points.
Yeah, I do too, but as far as fantasy, I don't know if I would put him on there just in case, I would have him, if you have him on your team, maybe you set him on the bench and find out, in the coming days up to the game.
Yeah, make sure before the game starts, if A.J. Brown's playing, I'd start him.
Yeah, start him, yeah.
Got a rumor from the Colts that Michael Pittman's rumored to be on IR.
Yeah, he's out. And that hurts them a lot, but they do also have a lot of wide receivers. I mean, Joe Flacco just airs it out to anyone. I mean, I think they'll be fine considering how many wide receivers they have, and they like to throw to. Alec Pierce is going to be good.
And Downs.
And Downs is going to be good,
Downs is a dog.
He's very good.
Colts are also without Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. You think that'll affect their game at all?
I mean, Joe Flacco's, I feel like he can do the job at quarterback. Losing Jonathan Taylor, though, that's huge. I mean, he's a great running back.
Jonathan hurt me a lot in my fantasy league. I'm struggling right now, and he just can't get over this high ankle sprain. I think the more Joe Flacco plays, though, the better it's going to be for these wide receivers.
Yeah, he'll get him the ball.
Bad news for Derek Carr and the Saints with a hurt oblique. Potential for Spencer Rattler to play. What do you guys think? We've been watching that pretty close.
I think he's out. Derek Carr's done.
Yeah, they're gonna
just a couple weeks, and I think Spencer Rattler's going to struggle. I think the Saints are going to fall apart. I do. I mean, Alvin Kamara also still playing with like a broken rib. I mean, that team's falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, they looked really good in the first couple weeks, but they obviously got some injuries on offense and defense. So I think Rattler will step up, but I don't think he's going to have success right away. I think he's going to throw a couple picks, and he might have 1 or 2 touchdowns he throws. But I think he'll keep them in the game and probably give them a chance to win.
They need to use Chris Olave more for starters.
Yeah.
If Derek Carr's in or not. I mean, how are you not going to use your number one wide receiver like that?
I mean, he's a receiver one on almost any team.
And they just barely give him the ball.
Yeah. And they have Shaheed, but like, who else do they have, really?
Just the deep threat, but they just...
Yeah, they don't really have anyone else.
I could see with Spencer Rattler, I could see Olave having a good game because I feel like his passes are much more safe.
And Rattler already said, he said he's going to get Olave the ball a lot. So if you have Olave on fantasy...
Definitely a start.
I mean, I would start him because I feel like he's going to get the ball a lot, and the Saints are going to take some shots, I feel like, to test out Rattler as well as try to get Olave the ball.
And now we got Rashee Rice and the Chiefs out for the season after his surgery. That's pretty tough to hear.
I don't like the Chiefs. I want the Saints to win so bad. I don't know why the Chiefs always win. There's so many plays that game, like the refs. Did you see the PIs?
Yeah.
And then the roughing the passer. I mean, how are you not going to call any of that?
That's the thing. Everything about the Chiefs when they play the refs, I mean, it looks like really bad on them.
It does look.
And people catch on that and they see it and they're just like, hate the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs are in a weird spot, fantasy related, because like I had Mahomes, I dropped him because he's doing good in a football aspect, but not fantasy.
Like he's winning games, but he's not putting up fantasy numbers.
And I thought Worthy would step up and really take that role of wide receiver one, but they just don't give him the opportunity.
Yeah, no.
You can just win the ball by just doing short passes and weird runs.
Yeah.
And the refs.
Like last week they had Worthy at running back, and he like ran it in for a touchdown. So, I mean, we'll see. Without Rashee Rice, he was their receiver one, so they're going to have these other guys step up. And Worthy and, who else? They have
Kelsey.
Juju.
Juju's a joke, man. That was a fluke of a game. I don't see him doing much after that. I really don't.
Juju's washed, but...
He needs to go do some more TikToks in the locker room
and
before he
isn't Scaling back on the Chiefs? Valdez Scaling.
I heard something.
I'm pretty sure.
I heard Edwards Kyler might come back too. He's been practicing. And
I'm pretty sure that Scantling is on the Chiefs.
And Carson Steele lost everything
because they just
fumbling that ball.
They have like random receivers right now.
Yeah, I could see Kareem Hunt having. I think Kareem Hunt's a great person to pick up and stash on your bench. Just to see how things go.
He hasn't had like many reps though.
Yeah, but he had how many carries last game? Almost 18 or something.
That's true.
He got
I'm just talking about like in the recent years. He hasn't had. He doesn't really have. He does have game experience, but he hasn't like in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he's kind of like getting up there.
Moving on to our next segment, we're playing a new game every week called Fantasy Face Off, where all three of the hosts here will be playing a game where we draft a fantasy team for each week. For first place, the winner gets free canes. Second place has to take a shot of the mild sauce. In third place, has to take a shot of the hot sauce. So I guess we'll start with our quarterbacks. Who'd y'all draft for QBs and why?
I got Jane Daniels. I mean, why? There's really no explanation on that. I mean, he's a star out there. He's in MVP talks, and he's a rookie. So, I mean, I think I could see him blowing up this week again.
Yeah, I can see that's a good pick. I got Baker Mayfield as my quarterback. He's been on a little streak lately. He's been looking pretty good. He's been doing good in fantasy, especially.
He is on a hot streak for sure.
Yeah, and I've got CJ Stroud, just a solid QB since the get-go for him. I'm real excited to see how he does this week. Let's move on to our running backs.
I got Saquon Barkley. I mean, how could you not want this guy on your team? He gets the volume. He's got a great O-line. He's going to score points, you know?
I got Derrick Henry and also Saquon. I mean, they both just look really good. They've been running phenomenal those last couple of weeks.
We have the same running backs, and I like that. I respect that. You know where the volume's at. You know he's going to score the points.
They get a lot of touches.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got Henry as well, but I've got Bijan in my two.
I like the Henry pick. I do like Bijan Robinson, but man, he does not get the volume. I might be a little bit worried for you on that.
Carries. Yeah, but he's a good running back for sure.
Moving on to our wide receivers.
I got Jamar Chase and St. Brown. I mean, two excellent guys. Jamar Chase had how many points? 40-something last week. The Bengals finally looked decent. St. Brown is just always, his floor is just so high, and his ceiling is not like Jamar Chase's ceiling, of course, but he's always consistently scored up
really
20
good.
points.
Yeah. I got Harrison Jr. and Diggs. I mean, Harrison Jr., I feel like he's going to get a lot of catches.
His ceiling's insane.
He's insanely good.
They throw him the ball, he's going to score.
And then Diggs, he has to step up to that receiver one spot, so I'm expecting him to get a lot more reps.
He's going to get a lot more volume.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot more targets. I think he's going to score a lot on fantasy.
Yeah, I took Mike Evans and Chase. I think Chase was just a lock for all three of us. I mean, great receiver. And then with how Mayfield's playing, I feel like Evans is just going to keep producing. And
yeah,
Evans is just such a consistent great pick. Yeah, he is.
Hall of Fame.
He gets the job done.
Future Hall of Fame.
Now we got our tight ends.
I went with McBride. I mean, his volume, his targets, it's absurd how many he gets. I mean, how could you not want someone with that much volume on your team?
Yeah. I got Bowers as mine.
He looks great.
Bowers is crazy good, and especially for a rookie, he's just learning how to maneuver and stuff in the NFL. In college, he was amazing. I think he's going to transition to the NFL every week.
The only thing I worry about with the Bowers pick is Aiden O'Connell's starting this week, so volume share might change a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Minshew does like his tight ends.
That's
Aiden
true.
O'Connell likes to air it out.
I think they'll hit some double tight end sets too.
Okay, I like that.
But we'll see. I don't know. If he's on the field a lot, I think he'll produce.
Yeah, I went with Jake Ferguson with the Cowboys. I mean,
Safe pick.
He's been producing, and I'm excited to see how he does for the rest of the season. Now we got our flex picks.
I went with the big one. I went with Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, I knew last week he'd have a great game against the Seattle's zone defense. They talked about wanting to throw him the ball more and get him more targets. I mean, I could see him being a star. He was a star at LSU, and he really has potential on this team.
Yeah, he's really good. It seems all the dudes that come out of LSU recently are just all dogs.
Yep.
But, I mean, I took another LSU guy, Jamar Chase, in my flex. I mean, every one of us picked him. He's been looking pretty good, and if Joe Burrow just keeps performing the way he does, if his O-line gives him time, Jamar Chase he'll put up numbers.
Always a start for Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I went with a bit of a off-color pick. I took George Pickens. You know, he's not a high volume guy. He doesn't get the ball very often, but when he does, man, that's 40, 50 yards downfield, and he's a big play kind of guy. I'm not saying he's going to do great numbers for me, but he's going to do what he can, and I'm excited to see how he does.
I could see him getting a few points, but he does scare me a little bit for you. I like the pick, not just doing stars and stuff like that, but I do get a little bit worried with him and his attitude and stuff like that.
They might give him
That's what makes him a player, man.
a few jump balls.
He's passionate.
Mm-hmm. Now we got our kickers.
Man, I went safe. I went with the Fairbairn. I mean, that guy's a beast. I mean, he does not miss. He does not miss.
He's a beast. I took Aubrey from the Cowboys. I mean, Cowboys kick so many field goals. This guy
can't drive the ball down.
Yeah, this guy's gonna get you points. The Cowboys is just most field goal kicking team ever.
Yeah, I went with Justin Tucker. I mean, he's just been in the game for so long.
Bro's a vet, yeah.
He is a vet. He's missed a lot this year, though.
Yeah, he might be.
He has missed a lot this year.
Fading a bit, but
He's looked better in years past, for sure.
true. And now our defense.
I went with the Eagles defense, and honestly, let me see. I'm pretty sure the Eagles play a pretty bad team this week. Yeah, they play the Browns.
They play the Browns.
Play the Browns. And Deshaun Watson, where has he been?
I mean,
I could see the Eagles just locking him up. I mean, they're going to score.
I mean, that's
points this week.
expected. The Browns are terrible.
Exactly why I picked the Eagles defense. You got to look at the matchups.
Yeah, I did. I picked the Steelers. I think their matchup this week, the Steelers are gonna. Their defense is phenomenal.
I also took the Steelers, so I'm with you on that one. I'm a big Steelers fan. I mean, they got Fitzpatrick, they got
T.J.
Watt, they got Patrick Queen. I mean, they've added so many weapons to their defense, and it's just kept growing. And they're known for their defense. You know, Steelers have always been known to be a hard defensive team, and I just think they're going to completely close out the Raiders.
So you guys think the Raiders are going to score less points than the Browns?
I mean, the Raiders are pretty bad,
But
too.
the Browns are horrible. I mean, they don't have a running back. They don't have any. They have a tight end. They have Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson, who is the worst quarterback in the NFL right now.
That's true. They're both pretty bad, but I just think the Steelers' defense is better than the Eagles in general.
Agreed.
Okay, I could see that. I like that take.
I might be biased, but I agree. Moving on to our Week 6 picks. So we'll just go over each game for the week, and we'll go over our thoughts on the game and who we think is going to win. First up, we got the 49ers and the Seahawks. Thursday Night Football.
I'm going to take the Niners on this one.
You know, I feel like this is going to be a really close game. I feel like the Seahawks could pull out the win with how bad the Niners have been playing. But, I mean, there's too much talent on the Niners right now. They're so good.
Yeah. I think it'll be really close.
I do. I think tonight's game will be a extremely fun game to watch. There's always points scored whenever these two teams play.
And Gino's stats actually,
look good.
he's actually been, putting up numbers. If you have him in fantasy, I mean, why not?
And DK's been doing good. The defense is there. Last week, I feel like was just a fluke against the Giants, but
Carson came back, too, the running back. Or Kenneth
he was
Walker.
back last week.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
And they want to give him the ball more. Did you see that? They talked
Yeah.
about the loss against the Giants, and they were like, only giving him 7 carries is a disgrace. to
Yeah,
them.
no, he needs the ball. He needs to be like their new Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. If they want to win, they got to use Kenneth Walker. And
Yeah.
I think if you have him, he's definitely a start every week.
For sure.
Moving on, we got the Jags and the Bears.
I have to go Bears.
I mean, I think you have to go Bears with how bad the Jags look. I mean, I think there's no choice here, but I could see the Jags pulling out something crazy.
I mean, this is battle of bad, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
but I do think that out of the two bads, that the Bears are the better.
Less bad, yeah.
Yeah.
They're a little bit less worse than the Jags.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence looks terrible.
how are you going to pay him that much money and for him just to do
Terrible.
nothing?
The only one that looks semi-decent on the Jaguars is Brian Thomas.
And Tank Bigsby looks good, too.
Yeah.
I
he
picked
did.
him up. I'm starting him this week. Might be crazy, but with Travis Etienne still there, I do think he's still going to get volume.
Yeah, that's true.
Breaks tackles like
He
nothing.
does. And he gets breakout runs. Too.
Yeah.
He's fast.
Exciting matchup here. Bucs Saints. With Baker cooking like he is.
I think
Bucs.
the Bucs are going to kill him. I mean,
Bucs.
Spencer Rattler's going to go out there and get eaten up by that Bucs defense.
Yeah.
Their defense, I mean, your first game as an NFL quarterback and you're playing against arguably one of the top 5 best defenses in the league.
And
They
your
will
old
lock him
college
up.
teammate, too.
They will lock him up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Bucs got this one in the bag. But I'm excited to see Spencer Rattler, see what he can do. I think they'll take some shots with him just to see.
See where his potential's at.
Yeah.
Then we got Commanders at the Ravens.
This
Go
is interesting.
Commanders. I love the Commanders. I'll go Commanders every week. I love Jane Daniels. I mean, he is balling out. He's legit. There's nothing more you can ask for a quarterback. I mean, the Ravens are the Ravens. They are great, stuff like that. But the Commanders are on a hot streak.
I agree. I'm going to take the Ravens and wager on this game.
You're going to have to help me out a little bit here because, I mean Commanders are definitely the underdogs here, you know?
I mean, yeah, but how confident are you? You don't have to go hot. Like,
I'll go
really.
mild. I'll go mild.
So this one?
Yeah, the
Okay.
medium. I'll go medium.
We could do that.
Something nice and easy.
Okay.
But I do think the Commanders are going to pull this one out. Terry McLaurin's going to score a few touchdowns out there.
Yeah, I could see that, but I think the Ravens got this. I mean, Derrick Henry's getting it going now.
Yeah, but the Commanders got good run defense.
That's true. It's going to be
Their secondary's not that good, but can Lamar Jackson step up and throw the ball?
That's true. He has to perform.
Isaiah Likely could have another good game this year.
Yeah.
This game.
I mean, the Ravens have so many good tight ends.
They do. I mean, Mark Andrews is just, he's a blocker at this point.
Yeah.
You have him, I mean, go look to trade him. Wait for it to have a blow up where you can just go trade him.
Colbert 2, tight end 3, came in and made a big play last week.
Now we got Cardinals at the Packers.
Man, this one's hard because it's like the Cardinals could be so good, but they just fall apart so easily. And they love running the ball, which I don't understand. I mean, you have Kyler Murray who can run the ball too.
Yeah.
And you got Marvin Harrison. How you not going to just feed him targets and targets? He's only getting like 6 targets a game. How you not give him like 12?
Yeah, he needs more. What do you think, though, on the game?
I'm a big Cardinals guy, but I think the Packers are going to take this one. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense is good. I do like Jordan Love. Jaden Reed's good. I mean, there's really no downside to the Packers. The Cardinals, they definitely have their downsides.
Yeah, realistically, the Packers is the team that I would go for in this scenario, but I do think the Cardinals have a chance of being a potential upset. But I'm going to go Packers on this as well.
And we got Colts at Titans.
I think this is a no-brainer for the Colts. Joe Flacco's doing his comeback player of the year as usual. He's just eating. I mean, probably the best backup quarterback you could want on your team is Joe Flacco.
The Titans look terrible.
Even with Jonathan Taylor out, I still would take the Colts.
Yeah, Titans look terrible. Will Levis has not been doing anything.
No, he is not
He's
that guy.
Like fumbling and just all kinds of stuff. Colts on this all the way.
Yeah,
Sure.
Now we got Texans at the Patriots.
Texans.
Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer here. I mean, you're talking about a star team versus a high school team. Drake May's playing, but, I mean, again, the first game of the NFL against a very good defense. I don't think
And
the Patriots would be able to do
Drake
much.
May, I don't know. I mean, like, he'll probably come in and do a little better than Brissett, but, like, they still are terrible.
And Stevenson still has his job. I thought he lost it last week, but
He just hasn't been getting the amount of carries either, but, I mean, he's a really good back. They need to get him the ball more if they want to win.
Next we got the Browns at the Eagles.
The Eagles.
The Eagles. I mean, again, the Browns are just
Terrible.
They're horrible.
Terrible.
They're probably the worst team in the NFL. Them or the Jags. Actually, I'd probably say the Browns.
Yeah. I think the Browns,
I think I'd take the Panthers over the Browns.
For
They
sure.
are horrible.
100%.
Deshaun Watson needs to get benched.
Yeah, he just needs
does.
to retire.
Chargers at Broncos.
This is an interesting game, I feel like, because it's like, how good is the Broncos' run defense?
Yeah.
How good is it? Because that's what it's going to come down to.
And if J.K. Dobbins plays, like, I mean, he's been going crazy.
Because I'm not too worried about Sutton scoring or who's their corner? Surtain. I mean, he's a star, but they're not going to throw the ball. So when is he ever going to get used? You know, I mean, Matt LeConkey looks great, but I mean, he's going to be locked up all game. I definitely will take the Broncos here. And Bo Nix looks great. I'm not a big Broncos guy, but I think if there's as much, I don't want to say like popularity around him, but I do think he pulls out and does some good plays, and he just doesn't get enough credit.
I could see that, but I think I'm going to have to go Chargers on this. I mean, I feel like these teams are pretty like even. I feel like this game could really go either way. But
Put something on that.
yeah, I'll go another medium.
Another medium.
on
Okay.
there.
I'm down to do that. I like that because this game's just up in the air. You know,
This game's like 50.
really knows.
2 bets so far. Next up, we got the Steelers at the Raiders.
Steelers
Gotta
all
be the
way.
Steelers.
I
That's
mean,
right. That's right.
Aiden O'Connell's going to play. That's not going to do anything. Watkins is out for the Raiders. There's no potential behind the Raiders. Why do you think Adams wants to leave so bad? Because there's nothing to win there.
Yeah, the Steelers defense looks really good. And they're just going to lock up the Raiders. I mean, they're
Crush the Raiders.
They are going to run them down. I'm not going to lie.
Yes,
They're going to run them over.
Next up, we got the Falcons at Panthers.
Falcons.
Falcons is an easy call. I mean,
Panthers don't look good either.
no, and the Falcons not just have a good offense, but they have a great defense. And
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins looks great.
He's been balling late.
Yes.
Last game, 500 yards.
509 yards, the most ever for a Falcons quarterback.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Come on.
Impressive. Next up, Lions and Cowboys.
I'm going to have to go Lions.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not a big Cowboys guy either. I mean, what are they doing at this point? I mean, they have so much talent. They have so many opportunities to win games. And it just seems like they're not doing anything.
yeah, I don't know. The Cowboys, they just look incomplete. I don't know how. They have one of the best rosters in the whole
Exactly.
NFL, but they don't look good as a team. And Dak Prescott, he's not the answer quarterback.
And the Lions are Super Bowl contenders
Yeah.
easily. I mean,
And Goff's been
there's
playing
no
good
downside to them. There's nothing wrong with the Lions.
for sure.
Now we got the Bengals and the Giants.
Man, I mean, I think Malik Neighbors might be out this week again for his concussion, which sucks a lot, but I still think the Bengals will overpower him, even if he plays or not. I mean, they look good. They need to start winning some games. There are 2 more losses and they're out. And
Yeah.
how you going to have a team that good and not make it to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think Bengals in this one for sure. They have a terrible record, but a couple of those games they should have won. They just they couldn't get it going, and they just shot themselves in the foot. So I like Bengals on this one for sure.
And last up, we got the Bills and the Jets.
I think it's going to be a great game, and we're going to find out if that head coach need to be fired. We're going to find out if the offensive coordinator need to move. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to have to take the Bills, though, because they're just, again, they're more stable of a team. The Jets are so back and forth.
Like wishy-washy
good and bad,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Inconsistent.
I'm gonna have to go Bills on this too. I mean, Aaron Rodgers' last game, that was his first loss ever without throwing a touchdown.
Yeah, they are
Or
locked up.
something.
That Vikings defense is good.
Vikings have a shot to go deep this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're definitely playoff contenders for sure.
Yeah, they're really good. But yeah, I mean, I think Bills on this one for sure.
Yeah. And Keon Coleman did have that 1 touchdown last week. I feel like if he gets more volume, he could really perform.
But Cook at running back,
And yeah, he's gonna run him over.
He's
That
gonna
Jets
get a lot of
defense is
carries.
horrible.
yeah, he's gonna get a lot of carries.
Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Follow us on all of our social platforms at HotShotsPod. That's HOTSHOTZPOD. And let us know what you think in the comments.